Happy Thursday. Hey, just an idea to throw out there for you to think about. I know it's been basically a week since we've been doing everything, and just to remind yourself that yes, this is different. Yes, this is tricky, but stay with it. What's the main event of school? It's to get through those challenging, tough times and making habits out of that. Okay, because when you make habits out of adverse situations, that's where you become more successful. Okay. So, um, first of all, talking with some of the other teachers, I just want to make sure that you're getting all your stuff in. Okay, there's some assignments that I've been hearing about that I don't think it takes very long to do, and we're not getting them in. So please make sure that you are looking at all the directions for the things that the teachers are asking. Okay, watching those videos, looking at their plans, okay, because they'll try to be as clear as they can. All right. So for me, for Comp Skills today, Thursday, you are going to, let's start with writing here. It says day 6 of your journal. Take 5 of your spelling words and use them in a paragraph. Make sense and find creative ways to insert them into the paragraph. When finished, submit to Google Classroom and look for daily journal writing. I'm going to take you through that right now. Okay, so first of all, spelling words. Where are these spelling words? I'm going to go to Google Classroom. I'm going to go to classwork. And then I'm going to scroll down where I see spelling unit 15. I click and I click. Now for some of you, if you want to have that out while you do spelling in this writing assignment, you can click on this tab. Okay, and you can make it its own tab. Okay, because I know some people like to have the word bank out in front of you, so this is kind of a nice little option for you if you haven't done that. Okay, so we need to pick 5 of these words and again make sense out of it. It could be fictional writing, so you could tell me a little made-up story, or it could be a nonfiction type writing, so you're writing about something. Okay, either way, have fun with it. I wanted to give you freedom for it and basically have fun. Whoa, and there's 2 of me. That is crazy. Okay. So I hope we're all good there with the writing. Just pick 5 words, put them in a paragraph. Now, when you're done with that, you can submit it. So what that means is, again, we're going to go to Google Classroom, which I just got out of. So I'm going to show you how to get there. We're going to go to the boxes here, and we're going to go Classroom. All right, and now, again, we're going to go under Classwork. We're under Virtual Learning. Okay, I'm going to click on Hand in for daily journal writing 1 through 6. I know this is due at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, I gave you guys tomorrow just to make sure if you had any kinks with your technology that you could make it work. So when you click on there, okay, your end will look a little different, but basically in the top right corner, you're going to be going to Google Drive, and then you're going to find your recent doc of daily journal writing, and then you're going to say turn in for the blue button. Okay. If you have questions with handing it in, let me know. Otherwise, we've done that in the past, so I don't think we should have too many problems. Okay. Let's go back to, where's Mr. Mickey going? All right, here we go. Now we're going to spelling. I have a video here on how to do spelling if you're confused. Okay, so when you're done with this video, before you do spelling, do that. Couple points. Make sure, please take your time. Okay, page 2 that you have to do, I think is a little easier to do because you're just clicking buttons. Page 3 is where you're writing words, and you got to make sure that number 1, it's spelled correctly, and number 2, everything is lowercase. Okay, if you can do those 2 things, you should be fine. And my third thing was we need to make sure that if there's a word that we don't understand, and I know there will be a couple of them that maybe you heard of, but you're not quite sure. Please take those couple seconds to look them up. Okay. Um, we got to be curious. That's a skill that we got to carry with us. When we don't know something, that's a problem. So what do we got to do? We got to fix it. Okay. And the only way you're going to fix it is by learning what that word is and go from there. Okay. So those due dates are right here, page 2. Just make sure you have that done by March 30th. Okay. Page 3, due by March 31st. It's crazy to think that it's the end of March coming up already. Okay, my last thing I wanted to show you was this narrative writing story. I'm going to literally show you how to do this. Okay, so please make sure, follow along here, do it while I do it, and then we'll all be good. Okay, so we are going to be making a narrative story. It's totally going to be on like straight from you. Okay, this is going to be something that you make up. It's going to be from your mind, but there are a couple brainstorming ways to help you with this. Okay, and when I started this last year, the kids were amazing with it, and so no reason why we wouldn't have you guys be just as great. Okay, so here we go. Step 1: we need to create a Google Doc and title it Narrative Story. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to get a new Google Doc. And it said we need to title it Narrative Writing Story. I'm sorry, title it Narrative Story. Step 1, I'm getting ahead of myself. Up here, Narrative Story. Okay, let's go back. Step 2, copy and paste the table below into the Google Doc. I'm going to put my finger down here before the P. And I'm going to drag it across until it gets to this bottom column. I'm going to go Command C at the same time. And then my computer's going to think about that. If you don't like that, again, there's other ways. Edit, copy. You can do it that way too. Or you can do the 2 fingers down and go about it that way. So now I'm going to do the 2 finger way here. So I'm putting both fingers down and I'm going to go to paste. Otherwise, if I don't like that, again, edit, paste. Okay. Now I have the table in there. Awesome. So what I'm going to do is give myself a little room here. So I'm going to stretch that out. Now these pre-writing questions, this is going to be the foundation for your work. Okay. And all of this is going to come from, you can see, I know I posted 2. One of them was being a little tricky last night. So I want you to make sure, click on whatever one works for you. I know I've had kids this morning already say it's been working for them. So click on one they're the same exact thing. Okay. So you're going to click on that. The technology has been not my friend this morning and last night. So sorry about getting this out later than I wanted. All right, look at this. We got people on here already. That's pretty cool. All right, so you are going to go through these, this paper. Take a look at this quote. I'm not going to lie to you, I kind of made it up. It says, writing a novel is like driving a car at night. You can only see as far as your headlights at first, but with some adversity of staying awake and using your map and tools, you will reach your destination and it will be beautiful. Okay. Some people think that when you start your story, you have to know how it ends. You have to have all the answers, and that's not it. Okay. It's a journey to get there. Okay. So for today, I want you to just build foundational things. Okay, be able to answer some of those important questions that great writers can use in their writing. Okay, so this part is awesome because these are all different ways to get you thinking about what you want to do. And a lot of times, actual authors, their stories that they made have come from all of these things. For instance, can you think of a vivid dream that you've had once and it was recurring, meaning happening over and over, that you could write about? Now, it doesn't mean you have to write that exact dream. You can make changes to it. You've got the power. You're the author. Okay. Or do you have an idea that you think about often that you could use for a story? Maybe there's just something you think about every once in a while and you think, I need to get that idea somewhere in my story. Is there a book, show, movie, or event that you've seen that you like to make a spin-off of or a sequel to it? So somebody already had an idea going on and they need you to continue with it. I know there's a lot of Netflixers out there right now. And then our next one, is there an event in history that you'd like to make a storyline? Come on, Mr. Mickey. Like to make a storyline occur during. Write a historical fiction story during that time period. I know there's plenty of World War II fans out there of really loving that time period. So if you wanted to write a story within that time period, that might be kind of cool for you. Is there something that bugs you that you wish people would learn? And you'd want to get that lesson learned in your story. I was just reading last night to my son a pretty awesome book by Mo Williams. And would you ever want to be a children's writer? Okay, channel your inner Dr. Seuss that smaller kids would love. And are you artistic and would you rather have to do something like a graphic novel? Okay, now you'd have to be a little more creative as far as the setup, but maybe it's something you want to think about. Okay. So step one, guys, this is before you write. We need to get these questions answered before we write. So do you see it says write your answers in your own Google Doc that you created for the 1 through 8s? This is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go back to that paper that I started, that Google Doc. Narrative story right here. And I'm going to pull that out. Kind of like what we were talking before. Okay. Then I'm going to just play around with it a little bit. Come on. All right. So here we go. I'm going to answer some of these things as I go. So number 1, are the experiences in your story from real or imagined? Okay. And all I want you to do is just get good answers here. I don't need you to necessarily I'm not looking at grammar here. I'm looking at your ideas. Okay. Okay, number 2. Who are the major characters? Who are the minor characters? Can you describe how they look and act? What's their names? How will your character change, grow, or develop throughout the story? Meaning, in the beginning of the story, they blank, blank, blank. But as the story developed, they changed because they do, right? So this is where I can have a whole bunch of things about characters. Okay, and I would be typing here. 3, what's the main conflict or problem in your story? Maybe there's multiple problems. Okay, so we want to make sure, get those main problems in because that's going to be a huge part to your story. Okay, I want you to then go and finish. You're going to do all the way through 8. Okay, and then what happens is when you get to 8, you can stop right there and just hold up. Okay, because now organization stuff, this is during your writing. So we don't have to worry about that because we're just starting our stuff. Okay, so we're going to come back to this document next week. Okay, but I want you to get these things down for Monday. Okay, get these things all ready to go. So on Monday, you're going to have everything ready. You're going to have a foundation of a story. Doesn't mean you know really where you're going yet, but it means you got a good foundation of the things that you want to go with. Okay. And then what's going to happen then is next week, Monday, we're going to start to convert a lot of this stuff into our story here. Okay. And we're going to get that going. Okay. I hope that helps. I'm just going to come back to Mr. Mickey's lessons here. Okay. So we talked about using our 5 spelling words. We talked about there's a video if you need to look at how to do spelling, which I strongly encourage right here. And then your narrative writing, all you're doing is answering these questions right here, and you're using the questions from the narrative writing 2020 document. Okay. And again, like I told you, it helps if you start playing around with some of the tabs, and that way you can kind of have 2 going on at the same time. I hope this helps, guys. I hope it's been an okay week as far as getting through things. And I'm just going to end with this. We have some hand-in stuff for today. Okay. So let me get to the right page. I got too many tabs, man. My mind is just all over the place. I'm going Mr. Mickey lessons. Okay. So what do you need to make sure you hand in? Okay, we said we wanted you to submit your Freak the Mighty Chapter 11 through 25 summaries no later than March 26th at 1 o'clock. And if I look at my calendar, it is March 26th. So we want to make sure by 1 o'clock that you can get those in. Where do you hand those in? You're going to go to Google Classroom. Okay, look at do Freak the Mighty summaries chapters 11 through 25 due. So you're going to click in there. Okay, and I know a lot of you have been doing that. And then again, that's where you do that in the top right box, you turn it in. Okay, I'm going to stop talking because I want you guys just to get working and doing your thing. All right, so good luck. Let me know if you have questions. I'm going to take a look at how the homework's looking, and I'm going to ask the other teachers, have you picked it up a little bit with handing in work? If you did, then we can do our dance. However, again, I want to make sure that you're coming through for us. So after today, I'll probably get a good idea of what everything's looking like for that. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Be kind. See you later.